If there were some hippies trying to climb trees to stop a bypass, the police would be infiltrating them, spending millions on it, focusing on them for years and treating them like terrorists. And here you've got people from left and right who are fringe lunatics, who are talking and saying and doing things that affects people's health and our economy and our future well-being and how we deal with the pandemic. They're even harassing children outside schools. They are acting like terrorists, and they absolutely, they are damaging the country, they're damaging people's health, they're killing people, and they should absolutely be treated for the, as though they are committing crimes, because they are. That's harassment, that's intimidation, that's a crime.
Yeah, it's almost about whether it goes into the level of the sort of steps you take against terrorists. Martin, Daubney.
I think the right to protest just about still free in this country. One of the things we saw during the lockdown was a huge clamping down on that, which the political left were dead against. When it was. Listen, you are still allowed to be angry at politicians.
That's a protest. Chasing someone down the street.
Right, can I have a go? Can I have a go? I've been a politician on the front line, and I've witnessed this close threats of violence with knives, with fists, with words. I've had all that. It's not pleasant. It's not good. But that is a crime. If someone pulls a weapon on you, that's a crime. Listen, shouting at politicians.
Have we got any footage of them going into the vaccine centres and the schools and all that? Because that's where, isn't that where...
That's criminal damage. That's a crime. But we shouldn't be politicising or policing political opinions. And we saw during the lockdown the emergence of a clear two-tiered system. You're saying they wouldn't go after hippies. They didn't go after Black Lives Matter. But I was on those protests. Where they're so-called anti-vaxxers, a lot of them are just people who don't want to be locked down, have their economy and lives destroyed, and they want bodily autonomy.
So, Susie, it's just another protest by people who want, as Martin says, bodily autonomy.
Protesting about that's absolutely fine. I think what Martin experienced when he's talking about describing his own experience is not a protest. I think that's the same kind of intimidation and violence that Keir Starmer and David Lammy experienced. And we do know that some of the familiar faces in those protests, we know they've got criminal convictions for violence. We know some of them admit carrying knives to these things. So why aren't the police stopping and searching them?
But then again,
if they've got a knife and they're threatening someone like that, then...
Shouting isn't violence. Words aren't violence. So that's the problem. The police should be policing without fear or favour. And what's happening is that policing is becoming politicised. Sadiq Khan's telling the Met what to do. The Labour Party now are telling... This was originally, if you remember, about Boris Johnson's word on Jimmy Savile's. But no, now it's anti-vaxxers. Make your minds up.
But when an anti-vax leader says, as one said the other day, we've got all your addresses, we've got all MPs' addresses, we've got all judges' addresses, and we're coming for you. Does that not start to worry you a bit, that it's getting very targeted on individuals' homes?
Well, you have to look at each case on a case-by-case basis. And if there's a clear intent to harass and cause terror, that's very different to shouting at Keir Starmer.
Isn't the point about the intelligent policing is that you don't actually have every case as a surprise. You have a look at groups and you work out what they're about and you say, is there a possibility that at some point someone's going to get really badly hurt or killed here?
But politicians should probably spend a bit more time reflecting on why the public are so angry with them. We saw it during Brexit, to bring that up again, and we've seen it during 2 years of being imprisoned in their homes, having their livelihoods destroyed and their health and their mental health destroyed.
Well, then they should be doing that to Boris Johnson. But why aren't they? Because the police protect him.
People are angry, and they have every right to be angry within the law.
OK, is it acceptable to say that anti-vaxxers should be treated, maybe looked over by the security services, for example?